laner versus Visage. I mean, Visage does have very low armor, right? Because of his cloak. So maybe the physical damage minus armor is good to shut down the Visage early. I can't say I don't remember seeing that lane played out before.
I mean, I think it's okay, but I also think these heroes that shove the lane in versus Visage they can be sad. Like, if you're not killing him, you're just pushing the lane to his tower, and then he just sits there and gobbles up the XP. Yeah. Which is pretty much what he wants to do. So it gets a little weird. He also has Shaker.
Don't think Shadow Demon is like the best kill hero in the world.
This is kind of just you're picking Alk to farm and hit his timings and have him go ham. But it does not strike me as some like crazy gotcha Alk pick, right? I guess that's how I'm looking at it. But I mean, if he has a really good game, like y'all had a really good game last game, Alk is a hero who can help take the game over more than the Terrorblade could in the previous one, I think. Like, you can just run around with Radiance, Blink, BKB, jumping on people and destroying them. So, they have that going for them.
In a way, like, Alchemist is kind of the other side of the same coin, I would say, Faceless Void. Faceless Void is kind of like a slow farmer. Alchemist is obviously an exceptionally fast farmer. And both of them just like to be able to man fight and bash heroes, right? And that's kind of what Alchemist is going to be looking for in his timing is, you know, getting to those 2 or 3 items much faster than Faceless Void, and then just challenging him to a fight, and ideally winning that fight because you're 2 or 3 items, or well, not 2 or 3, but you're an item ahead of him.
Yes, and that differential can be created here because again, I think Soniqs has the ability to pressure some of these lanes. Like they have, in theory, a decent mid matchup. This Underlord should have a pretty good time up here. He should just free farm CS with double bracer. Like, I don't think Void Death Prophet's going to destroy him. And then, you know, Alk is just going to shove the wave and do Alk things. Shadow Demon, the benefit of Shadow Demon Alk is you can stack a crap ton of camps with poison and just going to the jungle quickly. So there might be some option for that. It's harder on the Radiant side. That's the downside here. But you still have the option. We'll see. We'll see how fast of a start Soniqs get out to. Kind of the name of the game for him.
Well, Unstable Concoction leveled up level 1 already for Yawar. So you could also see Fodder's really trying to put the pressure on Moo early. Because Moo went for the triple branch Blades of Attack build. Because Visage doesn't actually have the best base damage to start with. Probably because his Soul Assumption nuke is bonkers good, as you could see right there. So he did invest heavily into stats.
This lane's already going kind of rough for Soniqs, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
Body used half his mana, but Moo just sat on the tower. He's only used 1 tango. They got the range creep on the Shaker with Fissure, and the Fissure hit the SD, and they got the nuke. Pretty much ideal start here.
Oh, nice blocking, too.
Nice block.
They can get some good damage here and get a maxed out Soul Assumption. They might just be able to kill Yawar. Low enough, and there it is. Moo gets the last hit. A question of whether or not Alchemist is going to be good in lane against Visage. I guess that's been answered.
I mean, definitely not with this, like, not the way you're playing the lane like this. Like, Concoction into Stunning Shaker, who cares? Like, what does that even do? So now you're just bleeding First Blood as well. It's even worse.
Again, I feel like if they had a better support for it, than like just comboing stuns on the Visage over and over again. Okay, so Disruption into Acid Spray into Concoction. This looks a lot better. Moo takes a ton of damage because he only has 1 armor and he's going to die. So they do get the counter kill. It's still the First Blood that went over to Nouns first, so that is something to consider. But all in all, Soniqs do even things out a little bit.
I mean, that's what I thought they should have just played for, right? Like, I don't even think you have to press a spell on Alk until level 2 in this lane. You just farm, you hit the level 2. The instant you hit it, you go on him. It's a guaranteed good trade. That's the strength of this lane. It just costs SD a lot of mana. So now he's going to have to ferry some extra out here, which he does. And of course, you're sad that they got the First Blood. Oh, that's
a nice combo. Yeah. Pull him back in. So you put the Storm on him. Then you pull him back into it with Dispose, and then you stun him after he's been pulled back in. I mean, that's pretty much a near full-out Firestorm you're probably guaranteeing on whatever hero you go on.
Yeah, it's super nice lane. I mean, Lels is going to have the time of his life up here pretty much. He is going to be big. See what he chooses to itemize with the free farm he's probably going to have. What's happening mid? Looks pretty even, to be honest. I mean, Quinn has some extra denies, but considering you're going up against Queen, never an easy lane.
He does also have this gigantic
Yeah, I
wave
guess he's
going
pretty
in.
far ahead. Well, I don't know. I mean, Gunner's getting something, you know. That's pretty much all you want with this hero in the mid.
Yeah, it's not as bad, I would say, as the last matchup, but it is kind of similar. This is a losing matchup for Gunner, so it's a question of just him doing his best he can. They do manage to get another kill in that bottom lane, this time onto Z-Freak.
Oh, racking him up a little bit down here.
Moo actually went level 3 Gravekeeper's Cloak just because of what happened that first time they went on him. He knows he needs something to defend a little bit against that damage.
Yeah, I mean, he's not too sad in this lane. Like, he's got his Falcon Blade already. Might get another kill here.
Definitely getting a bit low.
Trying to cut the tree. Oh, he got trapped.
Yeah, nice disruption. Gets a little bit of extra damage in there. Another round of concoction. But now they're out of mana.
Looking at Yawar.
Yeah, they're going for him. Oh, that is enough. Just the level 1 soul assumption again and again is just nailing Sonic. Z-Free takes a lot of damage going underneath tower here, but they really wanted to get the full sweep. They wanted to get both heroes because this is a big wave that's coming in. Still a huge win that Alchemist doesn't collect any of this net worth or experience.
Sure. I mean, that's 2 deaths on him now. He's not very happy. And I think nouns are very happy with this lane because it's a shaker lane. Like, if you're getting kills with a shaker, you're super happy. This hero's not always guaranteed to be the most aggressive on lane, and Visage gets the extra XP. He's living the dream. Like, he didn't have to buy much regen. He just gets extra XP from the kills, extra waves, without getting punished. He's having a very good game.
It's like watching this top lane duo. It's not a duo that I've really thought about as like being very powerful, but both of these off-lane duos are actually surprising me how good synergy that they have. Because like you said, it's an Earthshaker lane, so even if, let's say, they didn't have the opportunity to get kills, he can still fisher back the wave, which Visage really loves.
There's a 6-minute rune contest. Now they'll rotate everybody.
Everybody's going to be joining on the party here, but Quinn is the one to be able to blink away. And Gunner, is he going to go for the swashbuckle? MSS is going to be joining here, and they actually just toss them away. So Gunner, not going to be able to do much there. If anything, they got to be a little bit careful. Sonic Wave is up with Quinn being able to get the rune. He's got some fresh regen. There goes the Sonic Wave. Clears out the Death Prophet pretty easily.
Sad for Husky here. If you get Pango, he's threatening. I mean, the upside for Sonics here as well is, like, they're happy to have these rune skirmishes because, again, Underlord will destroy Faceless Void in the CS battle, and Al just gets to get solo XP. He's not getting killed anymore because there's only solo Visage. So I feel like Sonics would rather have these rune battles just whatever happens, cool, because they're happy with the side lane matchups.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
And it shows. I mean, they have the 3 highest net worth cores in the game. Gunner's game is pretty far behind now. It's similar to last game, though. Like, sure, you get a lane advantage, but what are you going to do with it?
Costa, he's got to be careful. If he gets too low, he's going to get jumped on. Nice dodge back. That was beautiful. Knew that Mojo was going to be rebounding over there. Now they get a chance to maybe get a turnaround kill. The Rolling Thunder going on through. It's going to bounce back off the wall, hit the 2 of them again. Actually, Mojo sidesteps it. Costa's got to be careful. He gets tossed backwards, but they didn't expect the side of Sonic so many heroes to be joining in this. Another 2 show up, and they thought it was going to be a fair fight, a 2v2. Not the case at all.
Brought the whole squad outside of this Visage, who now has 6, so he gets to push him bottom. Yawar to the jungle to clear up the golems. I mean, every time you can defend this safe lane, it feels good for Faceless Void, I think, because he does not want to go jungle this early. It's pretty slow for him. An 8-minute rune will be regen. Very nice for Gunner.
Oh, it's funny you were saying that, and I thought you were actually talking about Sonics. Because, yeah, same thing here. That's one of the few really nice things about Shadow Demon, right? You can camp him on the safe lane tower, and he could just Shadow Poison the waves out very safely over and over again. So.
Yep. He's getting really high level. Like, he's almost level 6. This is kind of ideal flow for this hero. If you get to sit in this lane or mid lane, get to your level 6, running around is pretty much useless because you're just way more impactful with the ult in level 7. He's getting a lot down here, and nouns are not happy about it.
Yeah, time to put a stop to this. Don't let this Shadow Demon just camp underneath tower. It's the same with like Winter Wyverns. Don't let them just chill out and farm waves the whole time. You gotta root them out. You gotta get in there, dig them out by the root, say get the hell out of here. If you show up again, we're gonna do the same damn thing.
Exterminators. Squash the bug.
Time walk. If he wants to survive through this, I think it might be a Chrono situation. He's gonna Chrono TP out.
Well, you take those, I guess. I don't know. 3 heroes, Chrono. You're not going to be able to really use it aggressively in the early game anyway. He is going Midas build once more. I mean, this game is going to come down to how much this Visage gets done. Because he is going Falcon Blade Urn. So this is like a very early game oriented build. Wants to fight, wants to skirmish. He is their strongest hero. Gonna have to make something happen with him.
This Fisher there from Z-Freak stopped what I think would have been a death on Husky otherwise. This disruption into allowing the unstable concoction acid spray setup is pretty scary. Especially since he went 3-1-1. UR's currently farming some stacks up with that. We actually didn't see hardly any stacks last game. Looks like a little bit more priority being put in that. Though I'm okay with this change in meta, let me just say. I feel like stacking metas are the most boring.
Depends how big the stacks get, but yeah, for the most part, stacking it should be like an efficiency thing, not a objective. I feel.
Yeah.
When stacks become an objective, the viewers suffer. Actually, viewers like stacks. What am I even saying?
What?
The game pace suffers.
Yeah, the game pace suffers.
But everybody likes watching you clear a massive stack. You know, that's the fun part.
Oh, see, I was thinking the stacks getting contested. Now that's interesting.
Oh, yeah, but nobody contests them anymore, so
yeah,
we lost that.
Sad. Well, that's what UR is going to be up to. So we'll check on him probably in like 5-6 minutes when he's got his Radiance. See if anything changes. Same goes for Costa. He's just going to be farming away, trying to complete his Midas so he can try in vain to keep up with an Alchemist net worth. Of course, he never will, but that's okay. He gets more just from his hero kit.
Absolutely, and you know, Midas faces Void. You do feel the pressure a little bit. You feel like this guy is farming, he's getting to his items, and the Soniqs catch is, again, that's one of the weaknesses of their lineup. Second time, it's pretty much on MSS with this Marcy to find the openings. Quinn being super aggressive like we're seeing here. It's going to be a 5, though. There's Chrono. In 3.
Costa. Time dilates. This has been a little greedy from him. They're going to have the Underlord coming in through the other side. Now Z-Freak is setting up for a nice Fisher. Hits it onto the Marcy as well as the Plomp at the back lines. The Visage Birds are going to be able to drop. The Echo Slam hits the Sonic Wave coming out. It finished off the Earthshaker, but Costa was able to get a Time Walk off. Heals up a lot of that damage. Leslau now surrounded by 2. Fights Costa, but another Time Walk out. Repairs the damage. Now comes in UR. They got the Unstable Concoction. The Queen goes down, and now they can't catch the rest of these heroes. They're all just going to walk away. As Soniqs, at best, will go for the familiars, but there's the resummon.
Wow, what a fight from Nouns, man. Like, it's not easy to get value out of this Echo with Brown Boot Shaker, or like Chrono with the Midas Void who doesn't even have it. They're just maximizing the spell usage, and Soniqs getting baited into some weird river engagement. Just off the back of killing this Death Prophet, probably feeling good. Nice turnaround from Nouns. Absolutely massive win for them. Tempo-wise, it buys them a huge amount of time. Earn charges for the Visage. Void gets to collect some assist gold, puts him up to Midas. And, I mean, maybe the biggest thing is Gunnar killing Quinn at the end of that.
Gunnar
really made it work.
He just went a bit too far. He had a haste rune, so he was probably thinking, if they catch me, it's all good. But Shadow Demon, he has got an answer to any and all power runes.
I mean, the other big thing about that fight is Yar showed up at the end, which a little surprising that he like wants to join a fight that, I mean, he just has phase boots, you know. I feel like he could have just been farming. So the fact he got pulled into that, some little extra economic damage as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Because he still doesn't have Radiant.
Isn't that kind of the name of the meta right now, though? Is like, kind of everybody has to show up to fights.
Yeah, but I don't know if Alk wants to. Like, Alk is a very particular carry. He uses jungle better than anybody in the early game, and he just hits his timing so hard and so fast, you need to use him. So if you risk delaying that, it's very hit or miss. And I feel like his impact in the fights is also pretty low. If you have Radiance and you join a fight, that's one thing. If you don't, what is your actual team fight impact? I mean, you can throw an acid spray. If you have the synergy, it's great. But otherwise, it's not like Faceless Void. Like, Faceless Void actually has decent team fight impact with nothing. Dilation's an amazing spell. Chrono can always be good. You can waste a lot of time. And
getting a lot of stunts here. Oh, that silence. It could have been the killer there, but fortunately, Mojo got the dispose pull out. And that was just enough distance to really save. 4,000 net, we're still lead for Soniqs, but it is, of course, an Alchemist lineup. And this Alchemist has been slowed down, as you were talking about. It's a Radiance at 14.5 minutes. I'm going to say that's slower than the average. Pretty close to the average, but I'm going to say it's a little bit slower than the average. For sure.
I mean, it's like fine, but it's not the greatest. So he'll start to accelerate now. Nouns did buy a decent amount of time, and again, this Void's just been farming. Now they're pushing mid aggressively.
Oh, that's an interesting build-up. Leslau got a Crimson Guard. That's a really good pickup against all these damage instances.
Yeah, he's pretty much immortal. I mean, this item's expensive, but it is very powerful.
75 damage block against the familiars that are doing 60 damage against the does it apply to swashbuckle hits, do you think? Probably not. I mean, they act as hits, right? Because they proc Maelstrom and stuff, but
I don't know, it should. Like, it should, well, I don't know, it does like damage, it doesn't do an attack. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a mechanics guy.
It performs set attacks that are at a set damage.
It's very weird.
So I could see, honestly, both answers being reasonable, but little pick off. Wait, what? Oh, very cute. Oh, sorry. I thought that oh, very cute was a Marcy line. I was like, wait a minute, she's not supposed to talk. Leslau. He finishes off the tower. Gunner getting caught inside the pit into the straight up Sonic wave. He had his almost his full crew behind him. Now they're going to keep fighting without Gunner, apparently. We'll see if this works, though. Leslau is super tanky. The Crimson Guard has worn out, though. And bit by bit, they'll be able to bring him down. It's Exorcism. That's the power of the fine position Death Prophet, I will say. You know, a lot of damage, a lot of team fight.
Yeah, that's like, that's a huge death because he wants to use this Crimson to take those early fights. So when he dies with this item, you feel doubly bad. And maybe that's the power of the Exo here. Like, helps him cut through some of this once it's out and just shred him. They still have Chrono. Sonics need to be careful.
And they do really want to even out the tower trade, but it's not. Bit by bit, the familiars are going to be able to do it. Moo collects the last hit. Leslau just now showing up, but a bit too late. Sadly, his death timer was a bit too long. So that does mean with that last hit on the tower, that was really important because Moo is very close to his Wraith Pack.
Yep, and this is a delayed Wraith Pack, so because he went the Falcon Blade Urn. Yeah. So he had the early game oriented build, and now he's finally getting to his like big aura timing. So he's gonna feel pretty strong. He is always ready to fight. Just poking away.
That silence. Setting up the Rolling Thunder. It's just a chain stun on the Marcy.
Got the Queen.
Actually, Blink was still on cooldown. He got him in the chain stun with your Shaker there as well. Do they have the burst? They do. They still have the Echo. Big pickup. At the same time, the Visage did die, but I feel like Nouns are going to be happy with that exchange.
Yeah, they're pretty happy to pick up this Queen of Pain every single time. He's like the extra scale on top of this Alk, especially with Underlord going Crimson. Any core kills are going to be super big during this period. So this is when Sonic should be really strong. Yawar does help clean up that Visage, so getting involved with the Radiance, very nice for him. He's building the lead we would expect from an Alchemist over a non-Alchemist. his BKB blink is going to be critical here for Soniqs. Those two fights are like must wins. If you take those fights and you lose, this game is it's going to maybe become like last game a little bit. Not as bad, but I can just see it becoming too much garbage to deal with. It's like Exorcism and this Shaker Fissure and random Pango disarms and Visage being tanky. You know, it's like time dilation on top of it. It's again one of those lineups that just becomes super annoying to 5v5. Caught Leslau.
Yeah, they got the setup. They've got plenty of slows and plenty of stunts to keep him here. So when he's this far out, like he's gonna try and go through his pit, but they've got more stuns to go. If he tries again, there's the enchant.
Yeah, but they came through the gate.
They came through the gate. Well, that's an option. They just get set up for a 3-man Chronosphere, though.
This
is like, well, welcome to the party, fellas. Oh, no. Yoar's like, wait, do I want to be here? Do I not want to be here? All my allies are dead, but I pop my BKB. He'll at least get the kill on the Death Prophet, but now the portal's gone. So if he loses his fight, there's no way back out again. Oh, Soniqs. What was that?
Oh, no. I mean... that seemed kind of cool in theory. I mean, somehow Leslau's the only one who lives.
I would say
got his whole
0 stars for that Vuber. What the hell?
I mean, it's an interesting idea, right? Like, it's only 2 heroes up here, so if they bring everybody through the gate, they can outnumber them at the start. Yeah, it's just you're going into the clump that's, like, so deadly, right? This Chrono just catches everybody. Z-Freak gets another wave off from the fissure. It's just too much AoE to clump.
I mean, the 2 heroes they're going into are AoE stunning heroes, Earthshaker and the Rolling Thunder Pango. So even if there isn't a Faceless Void, I already got a question whether or not you want to be clumped up like that. And then you had a Faceless Void Chronosphere on top of it. I mean, they were utilizing the part that nobody really talks about Underlord, which is the Fiend's Gate damage reduction. But when you get like chain stunned like that, there's not enough damage reduction in the world.
And that was the Alec BKB fight. So that's like really not one you want to lose. And was that the fight to wager it on, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I would think it's like Roche or something, but I mean, now Nouns are in a pretty good position. They got Blink on Shaker with Max Aftershock up. He's super high level now. And they're ready to go. Rumble in the jungle.
Yeah, they keep on. This Earthshaker keeps on setting up great opportunities. They have the Silence to follow up. They have the Rolling Thunder that's going to go through. So Leslau's surrounded, and Gunner's dealing with the backline at the same time. The Shadow Demon's just being chain stunned to oblivion here. Knocked up to the high ground where he will die. Gunner jumps down with a shield crash and chase after Yoar. They don't have the Chronosphere, though, so no reason to keep chasing.
They have Exo up in 10. Think about Roshan. Don't know how fast it is here. Maybe it's not fast enough. Yes, they agree. But remember, this is like a Pango Visage lineup. They have the minus armor.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they're doing it. They have illusions.
Oh, boy.
I mean, you have to contest this for Soniqs, I feel like. You have Underlord, Queen of Pain for the pit. You have an Alk who's hitting his Blink BKB timing, but you're just dead too long. It's gone.
That might have been the 2 fights, honestly. I mean, you're talking about how they were must-win fights. They lost one, and this second fight, I mean, it was more of like a pick-off on an Underlord and a Shadow Demon, but it's enough to get the Roshan. Like that will probably ensure the next fight goes decent for Nouns as well, and at that point, an Alchemist lineup is going to run out of steam.
I mean, now you just have to play for late game, but are you winning late game? It doesn't feel like it. I don't know. It feels tough.
Once again, it definitely feels simpler for Nouns, right? Like they've got really good leading, initiating stuns. They've got a big like team fight winning ultimate in Chronosphere. Yes. It's just going to be easier for them to play fights at all times.
Like Visage can just run in. And then this Pango, he has Blink Diffusal. He just finds the backline. Like, if you find Shadow Demon, you find Marcy, Chrono becomes free. Void's going to out-man fight these cores going late. Maybe if Underlord has, like, carry build, it helps a little, but I'm honestly not sure it changes the ultra-late matchups too much. It will, though. Like, the BKBs are going to be the next thing for Soniqs here. They get BKB on Queen and BKB on Underlord. suddenly you can take the grouped up fight because Shaker, Pango aren't dealing nearly as much damage and control. So that is probably the next fight that Soniqs is going to look for to try and regain some momentum here. They're still a ways away from these BKBs, and they're getting their map closed out. Mjolnir finished for this Faceless Void as well. The damage is now a lot higher than it used to be.
Yeah, it is. And his farming speed is just picking up as well.
Yeah, the thing is, if you lose one more fight, he gets level 20, and then you get the chrono attack speed on top of it. Then it just becomes too much. This next fight is crucial. Soniqs need to pick it wisely, and they need to pick it with the right item timings, which is probably the 2 BKBs and the Assault Cuirass for UR. You get those, Aegis will be out around that time, and then you smoke, you get vision, and you jump a good core target. Like Pango, Faceless Void's ideal. You'll take the Shaker if you get him.
It does feel like one of those situations where it's going to have to be like even if they do win that right fight, right? It's going to have to be just a rush of like force another fight, because they got to keep their feet on the foot on the gas because time is running out. Faceless Void is coming for you.
Yeah, he really is. I've just not seen this hero lose many late games this tournament. He's just so scary because at some point, if you have full control, you get like refresher shot off Roche and stuff, and then it just becomes impossible.
Yeah.
So they're smoking up here. He's just leaping in, trying to find anything. It looks like they'll find Fada.
Almost found. Yeah, they'll get Fada. He almost found the Alchemist. He was not that far away, but
probably the best hero to give up in this time period.
Yeah.
Closing in on your double BKB Assault Cuirass. And then it's go time. You're gonna have to make something happen.
Quinn, he needs a little bit more before he has his BKB too, so stall for a few more seconds, boys. Goes to be like not stalling though.
Oh, aggressively going.
Is that the right Chronosphere? And they're going to be able to chain stun him pretty nicely, that's for certain, but their offlaner now being dead. Will Soniqs try and fight without him? Gunnar gets actually pretty low as he's stuck on this Sonic wave. He's actually just dead, and Quinn immediately pounces for more. He slows down Costa. MSS runs after him. They do still have another 40 seconds on that Aegis, so Sonic's got to be choosing
Yawar found the back line.
Nice two-man stun in the back line. Quinn immediately tops on top of that one. They're going to chase after. Their Shaker's dead. Now go after Husky. He's going to be falling here as well. And Costa's struggling to be able to hit anybody right now. But maybe with the slows coming in from Gunnar with the BKB on cooldown, Yawar doesn't stand a chance, and neither does MSS. Quinn's going to have to retreat. He blinks away. The buybacks come through from Nouns and do land a successful team fight after a rocky start.
The sacrifice from the supports and Gunnar will cost a Death Prophet buyback, Gunnar buyback, but as we've seen, Gunnar's happy to be the 3 position for this squad, which is the correct way to use their players, so they're very happy with that. They get the out kill. That was the double BKB AC fight, and you lost it, so I don't know what you're playing for now. I mean, now it seems hard. Like, Void is just getting into late game Void territory, and there's just too much stun. Your BKBs are going to start heading down here. Gets better for Shaker, gets better for Pango. It's looking pretty solid for Nouns. Next, Roshan is going to seal his game if they get it.
Here's a nice little pickup. 7% movement speed, 26 attack speed for Faceless Void off the Elven Tunic.
Oh, yeah.
Because it seems like right now the game plan for Soniqs is to, I know he had the Aegis, but I do feel like these supports, or at least the Earthshaker, is really important to kill early on in these team fights. Otherwise, the disables that he provides set up the Visage and the Faceless Void too much.
And that jump from Yawar was super nice. Like, he found both supports on a concoction on the back. That's absolutely perfect. It's just, they don't have the sustain to keep the fight going, especially Underlord dying first.
Yeah.
I want to say, like, This Marcy shard lets you rebound someone out of chrono, right? I'm not.
Yes, that is indeed a thing.
I'm not like high or something, right? Because he didn't do it twice, and it's like that chrono mid. You can just rebound him out. I'm not thinking about this incorrectly, right?
I'm fairly certain you are correct. I've seen talk about how that really shouldn't be shouldn't be that way and stuff. So
yeah, I really I mean I'm 99% sure this is the case, and I really feel like it's a big deal in these games because you have the cast range on the spell. It just makes sense to me. Like, it changes the paradigm, but we're not seeing it again. And now another smoke by Nouns. They have high ground. They have vision. They can also just push mid and force Soniqs to show.
After all, Nouns has got some pretty nice lane wards, both top and mid, so...
I see everything. They also have double damage and level 20 on Void. Whew.
Yeah, that is scary.
Good luck.
Titan Sliver now for Costa instead of the Elven Tunic. It's like Sea Freak's going to be working on a Shadow Blade. Makes pretty good sense. Really helps the hero not get gone on and get in position to be able to get some good Blink Echo Slams. Soniqs are just full on ratting right now. Ratting for a late game that I do question whether or not it's even viable.
I mean, I can see them winning ultra late. Like, if you get 5 slots on all these cores, you have Shadow Demon Ags, things like this. I can see it getting pretty weird. I can see the damage fall off for Nouns. Like, Pango, Visage are not going to deal the most direct damage at a certain point. But it takes a while to get there. And again, the Roshans. When you have Faceless Void, the Roshans are just so deadly. Like, this hero uses them better than almost anybody else outside of maybe Razor. And he just destroys you. He just jumps. He doesn't care about anything because he has double chrono.
Oh, that's interesting. Moo didn't go for the armor corruption. I thought everybody went that. Went for the soul assumption hits 2 targets instead.
Not Moo.
Yeah, he's got to be hipster, not just in his hero picks, but also his talent choices. Makes sense.
Big smoke from Soniqs.
Yeah, but I don't think Nouns is unaware of what's going on right now.
No, they know.
I know Nouns is sitting here.
Moo's wandering in, trying to bait it out. He does have BKB.
And he's got the shard, so I don't see how they ever jump on him and kill him before he gets off BKB or Stone Form. And because they're the bigger threat, they're the ones able to kind of bully Soniqs back, and also means they're the ones with the creep equilibrium in the mid lane. So they can start chucking some spells down the lane. They can start hitting that tier 3, and they're actually gonna Fiend's Gate their way back in, not directly to mid, because they understand how much AoE team fight is there from Nouns.
Yeah, this is all about Roche. So they gate back to show here, and then they go back through the gate.
Okay.
Trying to abuse this fact that Nouns is trying to force them out of the pit.
But Nouns read that was as a possibility.
Yeah, now they're going back a little bit. Now, this is a weird Mexican standoff. Who blinks first?
I feel like... Well, I mean, Soniqs has to blink first if Nouns plays it correctly, right? They just keep on... Yeah. Hitting mid-tower. I feel like Sonic has to do... I feel like they're the ones who have to do something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like them trying to actually hit Roshan themselves.
You can't... there's a bird in it. You're going to get destroyed in the pit. It has to just be a smoke into a good obs, and you jump, and you hit the jump of your life.
Smoke broke immediately.
That was not it.
Gets time dilated.
He got stunned.
Dashed up, fissured as well. Chain stun.
Oh, y'all are.
Big jump in. 2-man stun. A 4-staff gets Gunner out of the way. He starts rolling it up. Yuar's going to turn around. The Sonic Wave goes out. Doesn't actually hit Gunner.
Yes.
They do have this big Chronosphere. Moves on the outside, laying out some damage. They hit the Rolling Thunder back onto Quinn. They're going to try and jump on him, but he blinks away. The buyback coming in from Marcy. Leslau trying to do what he can, but the Exorcism is shredding him. They also copped Quinn at the same time, so 2 of the cores are definitely dead. The Alchemist was able to get out of there. But to no, not a big surprise, Nouns do win the team fight relatively easily and will take Roshan.
And these prolonged fights are just so amazing for them. You get multiple dilations, you get like this Exo just going ham. No one's even close to bursting his DP. Jawar's done an amazing job with these jumps finding the Shaker. They are not easy by any means, but what is the rest of his lineup doing to help, right? It's just not much. Sure, the Underlord sits there and he's tanky, but he's not doing any damage of his own.
Shout out to this Force Staff right here. The chain stun would have been there from Mojo, but because he forced Gunner through, Gunner survives through this, and then the chain stun he does against Quinn ends up getting him killed.
Yeah. I mean, this is, at this point in the fight, you're completely out of gas, because Al cannot commit without BKB up. He does not have the consistent damage. Void just shredding you, Exo shredding you. Ooh. Faces Void, man. I don't know. It's looking absolutely destructive. I mean, that's going to be the takeaway from this series. Like, if you're playing versus Hero again, should you make it back to the Grand Finals, what is your game plan? Because the game plan versus Hero in these games, it was not there for me. I mean, Costa Billy has just had a free-for-all in both.
How do you view Faceless Void's strengths? Because I know you said that he's probably one of the better carries right now, but you also said Soniqs didn't do a good enough job addressing the hero. Do you feel like it's in the territory of being ban-worthy, or do you think there is a better draft that can handle this?
He's definitely a hero you have to think about a lot, like, especially on this response, because you get 3 bans for it. You need heroes that shut down his teamfight presence, and it's not always the easiest to get. I do think it's possible. I also think there are certain heroes that make his life very hard, but you have to pick them at the right slot and get away with them. Like, I think Wyvern always makes this hero's life a lot harder, because he has 2 spells that are difficult for you to interact with. You have Curse and you have Embrace. I think the Vision heroes like Night Stalker and Beast make his life hard. But you need some sort of like, alright, here's how we're going to make the teamfight difficult. And they're going to try and burst
stuns,
them.
trying to get the Aegis. That was pretty free. They didn't have to blow any big spells. Chemical Rage is good halfway through, so they still got a chance to be able to fight this one. They hit another stun, follow it up with another unstable concoction, and they finish him off. And now with the Faceless Void dead, they can chase down whatever heroes they want to. The big threat is gone. Chasing after, MSS does not have a basher. It's only the Alchemist, so thanks to the bird stuns, Moo will get out, but look at that, straight up to the top lane. There is no buyback on the Faceless Void. There is a chance for things to get a little spicy here.
What the hell? He didn't get BKB off either time? That can't be right. I mean, I know there's an Abyssal, but I feel like he should be able to get off one of those. And just perfect chain stun from Soniqs, I guess. No saves from this Nouns lineup if he gets absolutely stunned up. Very strange high ground. Did not expect that at all. Now you're getting racks back.
Yeah, if you're Soniqs, there's no reason not to keep forcing things. You don't see a buyback out of the Faceless Void. You want that out of it. If he doesn't do it, they can win the fight. Death Prophet, he's going to buy back now, but they stick around. Moo with the Stone Form was able to do okay, but now he's been force staffed in awkwardly enough. The Rolling Thunder is disabling a lot, but not Yawar. Yawar's got the bashes, and Moo goes down. They finish up the melee barracks. Visage also doesn't have buyback. Not that Soniqs would know that. It's definitely time to retreat for them. They got a full lane of barracks. They got a nice kill. A bash onto the Quap. That is the worst target, actually. He's just going to be able to blink away. If he got the Alchemist, then they would have had a kill on their hands.
Wow, that looks so weird. He like bashed the Queen through the Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was possible technically, but I guess that makes sense since the bash procs on a single hit.
Yeah, they're all different instances of damage, and
it just I just never thought about it like that. But yeah, that makes sense. It looked kind of cool.
I think it's also you're less likely because Basher has that internal cooldown, right? So I don't think you could actually get both bashed anyway.
No, but it's funny. It's like thought a Matrix dodged it, you know.
Yeah.
Went right around him, hit Quinn. Like, oh, come on, man, tank it for me. Oh, what a turn of events in this game. Like, I don't know. There's a chance now, you know.
There is.
You got a lot of momentum. You have this Abyssal on Alk. You have the Shivas on Queen.
I mean, if you're Soniqs, you want to keep the pace up because in some ways you should know the Faceless Void doesn't have buyback because if he didn't have buyback then, nothing has really changed. He needs some time to farm up. So I feel like you should just smoke and hit him again, even if it's risky. You know, like you win that fight, you probably could just won the game.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Like the reason that whole thing happens because you're taking a base defense fight where you have full vision and you can chain stun this Void.
Right.
If you cannot jump the Void and chain stun, the fight is way different. So
Which
that's
is why I feel like it's kind of
hard.
weird that Nouns is being so aggressive right now. I feel like they should be the ones. Let's just chill out, guys. We've got this great late game. Let's just make sure we get our buybacks and stuff.
I would agree. I think you play for the next Roche here. Like, I definitely wouldn't go high ground. They're gonna keep scaling for a decent amount. I still think there's a window in the late game though where these Soniqs cores do become very obnoxious. Like particularly Queen of Pain. You're talking about very late game Queen of Pain. She can start dealing the consistent damage and be tanky enough to stay in her ground. I see a world where they get there. Definitely not easy. It's still a very uphill battle. You can't throw too many of these fights though. I think that's why I see Coast Ability. He went back for a Sange on top of the Titan Sliver, just trying to get status resist. Does it stack?
With what?
This is just like, what am I looking at? I'm trying to look at the status resistance for this Void, but it's all bugged out or something. I don't know what's happening.
It's 3.2%.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not
Like,
right.
it keeps changing between like 3 and 12. I don't know. But anyway,
I mean, it should just be 12% because this is the only status resistance he has. They found the Quap. Oh, they had a Tinker Ward. Ah, nice play.
Big kill. Very big kill.
Good move by whoever put that one up there just now.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was literally just placed, so just catching the rat. The trap has been sprung. Now you have 60 seconds, no Queen. Absolutely no way Soniqs can ever fight without Queen in this game.
Well, you say that, but look what they're doing. They're 4-man smoking out. There's no Quap buyback.
I mean, they're trying to find the greedy solo pusher, you know?
Okay.
Usually when you get a kill, sometimes you split up. Okay, they're not going to fight us. You get greedy, you start shoving lanes solo. It's a cute idea. Didn't work, but sometimes it pays off.
Oh,
he got bashed!
The Rolling Thunder's coming, but he's got BKB, so...
Could have bashed him again, to be honest. That would have been insane RNG, so we only got it once.
I would have been really interested if Gunnar went through it. I wonder if you could... I mean, you channeled during Rolling Thunder. You probably could have rolled through the portal.
I guess so, yeah.
I
don't know what that looks like, but... maybe he doesn't know, so...
Well, Melee Barracks is dropping pretty fast. These familiars, so annoying, so hard to eat through when they've got the cloak aura that just doesn't go away. Yawar looks.
Didn't get it.
He only hits the stun onto Moo. That's not what he wanted. He wanted it on Costa Bile. Now Costa has a chance to go for a Chronosphere. Even though the BKB was on cooldown for Yawar, they don't commit.
I mean, their Shadow Demon save.
That's true, that's true.
It's hard to just solo chrono one person here and take the extended fight in their base. Maybe if you're outside of base, that's okay.
Well, plus Roshan's coming up.
Exactly. This is the biggest prize. Refresher Shard it is. That's double chrono, almost level 25 as well. Look out, my friends. Gonna need a hell of a jump.
Yeah,
once more from the Sonic side. Kind of surprised Nouns aren't just forcing it here.
Yeah.
I guess they're just expecting the smoke.
Giving Soniqs an opportunity, but as you said, they are setting up for that smoke. These familiars are so annoying. You can't kill them as long as they're in range of the Visage.
Yeah. Pretty much invincible. Good smoke break.
Kind of wonder what it would look like if you went the Ags on Quap and you just daggered those familiars every time.
I don't know. It sounds like it doesn't do much, but maybe. Gunner's, he's showing here.
got the stuns. They got the Fisher to follow it up. Quinn is going to be able to blink away. Still has a BKB. Doesn't pop it, though. There is a disruption, but he's going to be chain stun off of this one with the rolling thunder. No, he gets off the BKB. There is that small instance. They do have UR, who was looking for the supports, went for the stun on to move, but he got the stone form off, so that makes things really awkward, especially with that Chronosphere laid out. The Sonic Wave pushes some of these heroes back, but look at that Gunner just lining it up. A beautiful swashbuckle, hits onto 3. He's sticking onto this poor Queen of Pain, who keeps on getting bashed over and over and over again. He took no damage, so a late Eon Disc pop. They do have UR coming back into play now. This is the last final effort of Soniqs. A buyback on their carry. They could buy back on the Quap too and try and contest Roshan. I mean, they have to go for it, right? But are they even going to get there in time?
I don't know. This thing drops pretty freaking fast.
Uh-oh. Can they Underlord ults? They don't have it.
They do.
Oh, they do.
They get behind
from the other side.
Found Zefree.
They found Earthshaker. It's a big kill if they can get it, but at the same time, the Roshan's going to be dying during that time. They're getting there slowly but surely, but the Roshan's already dead. They do manage to get the Aegis onto the Pango, but Quap, oh, what a rolling thunder. It's just going to be a chain stun. It's going to be a massacre inside the pit. Nouns on their way to the grand finals, winning the Roshan fight, winning the team fight, and Soniqs on the run. Bruised and battered and looking at a 0-2 in their future and gonna have to go through the lower bracket, it seems.
I mean, cool attempts at these plays, the gate, the jumps, finding the shaker, trying to commit in for the Aegis snatch. This is probably the game though, no buyback for this Queen. Yawar again has to find something crazy here, but he just doesn't have the damage anymore.
Oh, he really doesn't. He doesn't have the BKB going on. He gets hit by a big Echo Slam. When he comes out of the disruption, he's going to go for it. The BKB goes on, but they're laying the physical damage into him. But the bash back. No, Kosabili gets off the BKB just before the unstable concoction stun, and he kills the Alchemist. That is it. Nouns all season long, all year long. They have been playing the 3rd or 4th fiddle in NA, but they have said, we are improving, we feel good about our trajectory, and now here, they've proved it. Up in the upper bracket final, it's just one series away, and they have a slot at the International.
I mean, they look like the best team in this qualifier by far now. Like, I don't think Soniqs contested any of their real ideas in these drafts, which was what they were showing. These strong balls, sustained lineups, the Undying, the Chen, the DP.